A supernatural hush descended upon Vatican City as the unthinkable became reality. For the first time in 2,000 years, Rome stood completely frozen in disbelief. Thousands of witnesses, yet not a single sound. Cardinal Tagle's emergence on the papal balcony created a moment so profound that history itself seemed to pause, leaving experts and believers alike questioning, was this merely an election or something truly divine? The crowd waited, a sea of faces, expectant, hopeful. From the ancient heart of Rome, a plume of white smoke announced a decision. A new pope had been chosen. Minutes stretched into an eternity. Then a figure emerged on the balcony overlooking St. Peter's Square. Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle. The world gasped, and then an eerie silence. The weight of history pressed down on that moment, the weight of expectation. Never before had an Asian shepherd led the Catholic flock. Rome, the eternal city, held its breath. This was no ordinary papal election. What message of hope would this new pontiff bring to a world desperately searching for meaning? Luis Antonio Tagle, a name whispered in admiration, now proclaimed from the rooftops. His journey to this moment had been as improbable as it was inspiring. Born in the Philippines, raised in a devout Catholic family, he seemed destined for a life of service. From the bustling streets of Manila to the hallowed halls of the Vatican, Tagle's path had been paved with humility and grace. His infectious smile, his genuine warmth, his profound intellect, these qualities endeared him to parishioners and pontiffs alike. He spoke of love, of compassion, of social justice. His words resonated with a church yearning for a shepherd who understood the challenges of the modern world. He challenged the status quo, championed the marginalized, and embraced the diversity of the human family. Now he stood on the balcony of St. Peter's, a symbol of hope for 1 billion souls. Behind the closed doors of the Sistine Chapel, a drama had unfolded. Cardinals from around the world, cloaked in secrecy, had gathered to choose a successor to Pope Francis. The weight of history, the hopes of the faithful, the future of the Church, all rested on their shoulders. The conclave had been steeped in tradition, yet charged with an air of uncertainty. The Church stood at a crossroads, facing challenges both ancient and modern. Whispers of potential candidates filled the air, names both familiar and surprising. But as the days turned into nights, no clear frontrunner emerged. Then a shift. A name began to circulate with increasing frequency: Tagle. His reputation for humility, his commitment to the poor, his theological acumen, these qualities resonated with the cardinals. Luis Antonio Tagle, the son of the Philippines, had been chosen to lead the Catholic Church into a new era. The white smoke that billowed from the Sistine Chapel chimney carried a message far beyond the confines of the Vatican. It signaled a new dawn for the Catholic Church, a moment of profound change that reverberated across the globe. For the first time in history, an Asian pope would lead the faithful. News of Tagle's election spread like wildfire, igniting celebrations from the Philippines to Poland, from Argentina to Africa. Social media erupted with messages of joy, astonishment, and hope. The Catholic world, so often seen as monolithic, suddenly seemed vibrantly diverse, energized by the possibility of a papacy that reflected the global reach of the faith. The election of Pope Tagle was more than just a changing of the guard. It was a symbolic earthquake. Nowhere was the sense of joy and disbelief more profound than in the Philippines. From the crowded pews of Manila's grand cathedrals to the humblest rural chapels, Filipinos erupted in spontaneous celebration. Tears flowed freely, a mixture of pride, disbelief, and overwhelming joy. This was their moment, a moment of validation for a country with a deep and abiding faith. Tagle was their son, a product of their culture, their values, their unwavering belief. His election was seen as a sign, a blessing, a testament to the power of faith to overcome any obstacle. The streets of Manila transformed into a sea of humanity, a carnival of faith and national pride. For the Filipino people, Tagle's papacy was more than just a source of pride. It was a tangible symbol of hope. Their prayers had been answered, their faith rewarded. The world grappled to understand the significance of Tagle's election. Was it a divine intervention, a miracle that defied human explanation? Or was it the culmination of long-simmering trends within the Church? Theologians and commentators engaged in lively debates. dissecting the implications of this historic moment. Some saw it as a clear sign of God's hand at work, a deliberate choice to shake up the status quo and usher in a new era of reform and renewal. Others pointed to the groundwork laid by previous popes, particularly Pope Francis, who had championed the peripheries and emphasized the Church's mission to serve the poor and marginalized. Regardless of interpretation, one thing was clear. Tagle's election was a watershed moment. It represented a seismic shift in the Catholic Church's center of gravity, a recognition of the growing importance of the developing world in shaping the future of the faith. The Tagle effect, as it was quickly dubbed, was already being felt in parishes and dioceses around the world. The silence that had gripped St. Peter's Square was finally broken. Pope Tagle, his face beaming with humility and grace, stepped forward to deliver his first apostolic blessing, Urbi et Orbi, to the city and to the world. His words, spoken in accented Italian, carried a message of love, hope, and a profound commitment to social justice. He spoke of the challenges facing humanity: poverty, inequality, conflict, environmental degradation, and the Church's role in offering a message of healing and reconciliation. He called for a renewed commitment to dialogue, to understanding, to building bridges between people of different faiths and cultures. His words resonated with a world hungry for compassion, for leadership grounded in empathy and a genuine concern for the common good. Tagle's message was not one of revolution, but of evolution. He spoke of continuity with the teachings of his predecessors, while also acknowledging the need for the Church to adapt to the changing realities of the modern world. He emphasized the importance of listening, of accompanying, of walking alongside the faithful on their spiritual journeys. His words, imbued with a quiet strength and a deep spirituality, offered a message of hope and reassurance to a world often shrouded in uncertainty and fear. Pope Tagle's papacy promised to be one of bridge building between East and West, between North and South, between the Church and the modern world. His background, his experiences, his very persona seemed tailor-made for this moment in history. His Asian heritage gave him a unique perspective on the challenges facing the Church in a rapidly changing world. His deep understanding of Western theology, honed through years of study and reflection, allowed him to engage in meaningful dialogue with secular society. His personal warmth and charisma transcended cultural and linguistic barriers, connecting with people on a deeply human level. Tagle's papacy was poised to usher in a new era of dialogue and engagement. He was expected to be a vocal advocate for the poor and marginalized, a champion of interfaith dialogue, and a powerful voice for peace and reconciliation in a world riven by conflict. The Church under Pope Tagle was likely to be a church of dialogue, a church of encounter, a church that embraced the richness and diversity of the human family. In the aftermath of that stunning silence, in the days and weeks that followed Pope Tagle's election, a sense of cautious optimism spread throughout the Catholic world. The Church, so often seen as resistant to change, had taken a bold step into the future. The election of an Asian pope was not merely a symbolic gesture, it was a profound recognition that the future of Catholicism lay in the global South. Tagle's papacy represented a return to the Church's roots, a reminder that Christianity was born on the margins of the Roman Empire, among the poor and the outcast. His election was a sign that the Church was ready to embrace its global identity, to draw strength and inspiration from the vibrancy and diversity of its worldwide flock. The challenges facing the Church remained immense: poverty, inequality, conflict, secularization. But there was a renewed sense of hope, a belief that under Tagle's leadership the Church could be a powerful force for good in the world. His humility, his compassion, his unwavering commitment to social justice, these qualities inspired confidence in a world hungry for authentic leadership. The miracle of Tagle's rise was not simply about one man's improbable journey to the papacy. It was about the Church itself, rediscovering its mission, embracing its global destiny, and stepping boldly into the future. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.